Hey girls, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christina, and all of you are probably like, well, those of you who have keep up with me a little bit, or at least follow me on my personal social media, you are probably like, girl, where have you been? And I'm not gonna lie, this hair already, it's annoying me. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of you have been asking me like, when am I gonna post a video, or why haven't I been posting videos? I stopped getting a lot of questions about it after I had made a post on Instagram saying that like my laptop that I was using was no good, so every time I would try to edit a video, it literally would just like erase everything that I had worked so hard to edit, and I would have to start over. So I finally got frustrated with that, I guess, and just stopped trying to make videos all together. But I recently just got a new laptop and I am ready to get back to editing, and I actually was filming videos while I wasn't posting them, but if you haven't noticed, I have lost weight since then, so it's just really hard for me to put out content where I just was not happy with myself. At least now looking back, where I am now looking back at those videos, I'm like, oh, I can't do that to myself. I literally look like a whole different person. But I just scrapped all those videos and I'm just starting with fresh new content. I feel like I'm just ready to get back into it and to start for real putting out content. Like, I didn't even get to put out a lot before I just stopped altogether. So I'm so sorry for that. Please don't hate me, but I super duper promise this time that I'm going to be consistent, because I know that that's the #1 thing, especially when you're watching somebody that you like. Like, I love the Ace family and I'm ready like every day for that video. I'm like, where's it at? Where's the new video? So I know that I don't have like a huge fan base now, but I do hope to eventually accumulate, you know, at least a set of girls that just love to come together and get ready and laugh and have fun and to make up with me. So if that is you, I'm gonna just stop talking. It's just I've missed the camera so much, I will say, and we're gonna get right into the video. I'm just doing like a simple neutral requested by Crystal. Shout out to you. She requested brown neutral with a winged eyeliner, and that's what I gave you, girls. So I hope that you like it. If you want to see how I slay this look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I have already done my eyebrows off of camera. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot you guys in. That way you can see what I'm doing with my eyes. So now I just literally grabbed some concealer. I'm using Tarte Shape Tape, and I put that down on my eye, and I'm just going to blend that out for a primer. Now I haven't used concealer to prime my eyes in a while, but I figured that I need to go back to it because using foundation sometimes it's like too wet. It's not sticky enough. Okay, so now that we've got that all blended out, I'm going to go ahead and go into the first shade. So the palette that I'm going to be using today is the Dare to Create by Morphe. It looks like this on the front, and when you open it up, it looks like this. So these shades are really, you have like an abundant shades to choose from. So this is a really good palette if you're not looking like to spend a whole bunch of money on getting all these different palettes. You can just buy this one and still create a whole bunch of different looks from it. So that's one of the reasons that I bought it. So the first shade that I'm going to go in with is this nice brown shade right here. So picking up that brown shade, I'm literally just going to take this first and just tap it on the eye. And I am using a Morphe S27. This is a little bit fluffier brush. If you're just starting out, I actually found it easier to work with like smaller brushes, because one of the things that I found is like people who are barely getting into eyeshadow, they just want to move the brush around everywhere and like just blend it out, and sometimes you can get a little too excessive and go a little too high. So with a smaller brush, it's easier to control where you're actually putting the eyeshadow instead of just letting it fly all over the eye, which is not really what you want. So anyways, I'm just going to continue tapping this color, and I'm really just focusing it here on the outer corner of my eye. And once I've tapped out most of the color on the outer corner, that's when I'm going to start to just tap it into the crease. But we're not like blending it, we're just literally working on moving it inwards. So again, when I add more color to my brush, I'm going to start at the outer corner and then just like tap it on. And we're literally just like stamping this on here. And I'd probably do this a little bit differently if the if the concealer wasn't wet. But since it is wet, it's a little bit harder to just go right straight in and blending the color onto your eye. So you first just want to tap it on there, actually get the color on there, and this actually gives you so much more color payoff. Okay, and without picking up any additional product at all, I'm just going to take the same brush and just start to do little circular motions and kind of blend out that color. To give it more of a gradient effect, I'm actually going to take what is this? I'm actually going to take my Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to mix Raw Sienna and what is this? Golden Ochre. As you can see, when I first got this palette, these are my favorite shades to use. And then just kind of do the same motions that we were doing. Circular motions. And then we can just take it up to give it that little gradient. And then just to blend this all together, because harsh lines are not cute, no matter what anybody says, I like to take a clean brush like this. This is a really dense one. I don't know, I started using it one day and this is all I've ever used. But I'm pretty sure you can use like a brush like this, a clean one, to also do the same thing that I'm about to use it for. But I'm literally just going to grab it and diffuse the edges with it. And I'm just going to go back and forth and just blend. Going back to the first brown that we used, I'm just gonna go back in with that color because I did kind of lose it a little bit. But now that I have the other shades on there that I used to diffuse this color a little bit with from the Modern Renaissance, it'll be a lot easier to get a nice smooth and clean blend because I'm not just blending this straight onto the concealer. There is a little bit of shadow there to actually blend with. Now to sort of rediscover my crease a little bit, I'm going to go back in, focus on me. I'm going to go back in with the concealer that we used to prime our eyes, and I'm just going to, well, let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it and just kind of place it. And then I'm going to take this little brush that I use to blend out my concealer sometimes or buff it out. I'm just going to take this on my eye and use it to buff out this concealer. All that I'm really doing here is just giving myself a sticky and lighter base. And That's only because I'm going to go over top with a eyeshadow that is lighter than the brown that I just put down, and I really want it to just pop. So the next thing that I'm going to do, this brush is super old. This is an Eco Tools brush, but I'm just using it to pack on some eyeshadow. And I'm going to take this Magic palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm taking this shade right here, and then I'm just going to take that and literally just pack that right on top of the concealer. And then for just a little bit more added definition to my outer corners, I'm going to take this small little brush right here. This is a Morphe M506, and I'm going to take this chocolatey brown shade right here, and I'm kind of just going to tap this on the outer corner again. And I am kind of blending it just a little down my lashes. Brush than that, but not a little, it's kind of a lot, just to kind of get my whole outer corner. And this is an M505. I kind of wanted the color to be like a little bit more there, so I decided to pick up a bigger brush. And then what I'm going to do is just go in and diffuse the edges a little. So I zoomed you guys out just because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I do my eyeliner this way and how you can benefit from it. So normally I would use this clay paint liner from Tarte with this little brush to do my liner. It works great. I fell in love with it the first time that I used it. Been using it ever since, until I started using eyeshadow. Now, you may think that it's like harder to use eyeshadow, but it's really not. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, but it is like the most simplest thing ever. The brush that I'm going to be using for this, it's a Morphe M432. It looks like this. It's a flat definer brush. You can use this for underneath your lash line, but I'm going to use it for, I use it for my eyeliner, typically. So what I did is I just got a little wet wipey, well, wipey, they're always wet of course, and I just took it and I'm wetting my brush with it and kind of just flattening it and making it nice and sharp. After I do that, I'm going to take any black eyeshadow. I've used this with several black eyeshadows, and I find that it pretty much works all the same as long as the brush is wet and it gets the eyeshadow kind of wet. But the black eyeshadow that I've been using is from the Dare to Create palette, and it's just this black eyeshadow right in the corner. Works great, love it, super black. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to show you how I coat the brush. So I literally, in the pan, just go one side, the other side. Also, sometimes what I would do, if you don't do the whole wipey thing, maybe you don't have a wipey, you can just use setting spray. After you've dipped the brush in the eyeshadow, just wet it a little bit. Kind of got my camera, I think. Just wet it a little bit, and then you're good to go. I'm just going to start from the corner of my eye, about where I want my eyeliner to be angled at. And I'm just going to do just a simple little line. As you can see, I literally just touched the brush to my eye, like marked it right there, and it just left a line. That's just what we're going to start with. We are going to eventually make it longer, so forth, but baby steps, baby steps. And then I'm going to go to the other side and just do the exact same thing. Kind of look at the other eye and just give it like a little mark. Now if those lines are both even, then I can move forward and do my eyeliner comfortably because I know they're both going to be even as long as I follow the line. So just going right over top of where I marked that line. Just going to elongate it. So picking up a little bit more product, I'm going to start from the end of the mark that I made now. And I'm just going to place my brush down, and it should give you like just a little wing there. What you're going to do now is you're just going to follow that line all the way back down your eye. And look at that. Do you see like the pigment in that? And I'm not struggling to get it down. Like I'm literally putting it down so effortlessly. It's so easy, I'm telling you. And then you just literally bring it all the way through, like just like that. And this is super, super thin, so you can make your eyeliner literally as thin or as thick as you want it. Like sometimes, depending on the type of like liner that you're using, you have to go a certain thickness because like you may be using a felt tip and whatever. I personally don't like felt tips. I've never liked felt tips. So anyways, this is just like the greatest thing for me. And look at that. Now you have that outline, and then you can easily just go back in and fill it all in. You can literally do your eyeliner in 30 seconds. Had I not been pausing to talk, that liner would have been done in 30 seconds. Because literally all I do is swoop, swoop. And I'm going to show you this side now. And I'm going to show you it without talking so you can see like how fast you literally can do this liner. I wet my brush. And here we go. Okay, so looking at my liners, they are pretty much like the same angled, but just looking at them I can tell that this one is a little bit more out and this one is a little bit more up. So this one I had to do a little bit more tweaking to get it like this one. This one was kind of like more effortless, but it's pretty common. The first one, you know, you like it, and it's the hardest thing to get the second eye to look like the first one. Now, if you were just starting with eyeliner, you'd probably be really, really happy with where this is at. But if you're like me and you're a perfectionist and you want the sharpest, slayest, baddest eyeliner, then you'll want to do this next. So you can do two things. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started doing this, I would get like the eyeshadow like all out here, and I would have to clean it up a lot more, but I've had a lot of practice. I do my eyeliner like this all the time, so it's really easy for me now. But before, like I said, I would get it all out here, and I would have to take a wipey because there would be like a lot of black fallout here from the eyeshadow because I wouldn't wet the brush enough. It's another thing that I should have mentioned. Make sure you're wetting the brush enough, because if not, the eyeshadow will just fall out and you'll have black everywhere. But I'm just going to show you what I would do with the wipey. That's probably easier for people to like clean up your liner. People have been cleaning up their liner like this for so long. So it's just another way to get a super sharp wing. Now, of course, if you don't do your eyeshadow before your foundation, you probably won't be able to go in with this trick. But do you see how that gave me just like slay liner? And then I can even go back and like where it's too thick down at the bottom. Do the same thing with this side. This side especially needed it because if you can see here, I definitely didn't do that one as good as the other one. So I'm just going to go in and clean it right up. And you see how it just sharpens that eyeliner, baby? Like, oh my gosh, you see it? It's like perfect now. Also too, another way that I was going to show you to clean it up is with a brush and concealer. You just literally go, and I'm going to do this step too, but I'm going to perfect my wings first. You just literally take the concealer and go right on the edge of the liner and clean it up. If you're using eyeshadow, it's really easy to do this way, but if you use a gel liner or a liquid, it can get like really muddy because you're mixing the gel or the liquid with the concealer, and then you have like this dark cast over here. It just really, it doesn't work as good as if you use eyeshadow. For me, just my personal own opinion, I have better experience using eyeshadow than I've ever had using a liquid or a gel. Oh yeah, another thing that I was going to say is if you use eyeshadow, your lashes won't get crusty. So when you go to put on mascara, they'll coat nice and easy. So now I'm going to show you how I clean it up with concealer. But I'm actually just using foundation. You can use concealer, foundation, whatever you want. I used to use concealer, but I find that if I'd use concealer, sometimes it'd leave like a little bright area here too, and it just look a little weird. So I mean, if you use foundation, you're going to put on foundation. So, I mean, it's going to blend right in. You'll have no issues. So, I'm just going to start, again, from the base of the lash. And just flick the brush up. And same thing for this side. That is it, guys, for this look. I really don't know about these lashes. Like, I really feel like they're too much for this. They kind of hide the liner that I had going. But I really hope you guys like this look. Thank you so much for tuning back after all this time. I promise you I will be showing you more content, showing you new things. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to what the future holds. So thank you again just to anybody who actually stayed to watch all of this video. Shout out to you, and just thank you. Before I go, I just want to say, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would really, really appreciate it. And you guys, I have a challenge for you. That is to copy the link to this video and send it to the last person that you texted. The last 5 people even. Let's see where that gets us. I know I'm like less than 100 subscribers now, but if we do that, imagine how many people, if like even 5 people watch this, that means they send it to 5 people, I'll have 25 new subscribers. Let's say all of them subscribe. Like, that's good enough for me. And one day, you know, the progress that I would be just please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I will be putting out more content for you guys soon, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.